The championship fight may be over, but the fight for second place is still ongoing as we are now at a spectacular venue where it has promoted good racing as we've seen over the years in F1. It's a second consecutive night race as we raced here last time at Singapore, where it was Walter who was the victorious in the end. 15 corners around here, 4.kilometre circuit, and here in Bahrain there's lots of opportunities to overtake as well with the 3 DRS zones. As we wait for the full qualifying session and the 36 laps ahead of us. Last time out it was Walter who won in Singapore, and the championship standings is very close between the top two, second and third place. Walter has claimed the championship in the last round, but the fight for second place is looking absolutely tasty because Total Peas has upped his game in the last few races, where Jeroen Visser has, I won't say fallen off, but he's had good races, but obviously Total Peas has managed to outdo him in every single one of them so far. So the gap between second and third place is 3 points, and this is going to be spectacular because we've got 3 races left: Bahrain, Russia and Brazil. And I know Bahrain and Brazil are kind of a pad track really, so it should come into Total Peas' favours. But Jeroen Visser, can he stay in second place, or will Total Peas grab it to claim second at the very end? Well deserved as well for both of them. Whoever gets second place deserves it because they've both done a spectacular job all season round. There's an interesting battle for fourth place in the championship between Mark and CRL Gamer. CRL Gamer has kind of been there, but he could have got a podium in Austria, but he had that 5-second time penalty and he dropped all the way down to 7th, I think. And Mark's had a few good last races as he finished on the podium last time out as well. So Bompia as well, he's another driver to look out for. He's always there. AJ, he's only 3 points away from Bompia, so there's lots of points to be found for all the drivers, but one driver cannot be beaten, which is Walter. So 18 minutes in this qualifying session then for the first Q1 session, as we see a few drivers on their outlap, which involves CRL Gamer, Rudy, Mr. BT, and we just await a few more drivers now to come out onto this circuit. What a spectacular circuit it is. Plenty of opportunities for overtaking around here. There he is, the CRL Gamer in the Aston Martin, currently 5th in the championship standings so far. His main rival, which is Relentless Mark, did outscore him in the last venue at Singapore. Mark finished in second place, and CRL Gamer actually lost a load of points as well. So I think Mark re-overtook him in the championship standings, as CRL Gamer finished 14th in that last race. It was a good and bad race for Total Peas because Total Peas was challenging Walter for the victory, but he made a mistake of his own doing and that cost him. But thankfully for him, the safety car came out at the right time and he managed to regain all those positions he lost and finished in third place. So you've got to keep an eye out for Total Peas and Jeroen Visser, because those two are the main people to watch tonight, as well as CRL Gamer and Mark as well. So there's still points to be handed out to those drivers who are looking to get up the order in the championship. But the championship has been decided, and that cements to Walter as he keeps his first place. Nobody can do him. And we're on board with CRL Gamer then as we make our way down into the first braking point. Brake around 100 metres as well. We don't really want to touch that inside curve of the entry. You can see short shifting there going on for CRL Gamer as he minimised the wheel spin on the exit, and looks like he's been doing his practice because that was perfect for what I've seen. Coming into turn 4 then, gets the apex on the entry, also an opportunity to overtake. You can see the rear just stepping out just a bit as he applies the throttle, and he rides the curb into turn 5 and turn 6. You don't really want to be doing that, because I thought that'd be a validation, but he just managed to stay within the track limits then. As you can see there, rotates his way around turn 8, now coming into turn 9 and turn 10. Brake in a straight line here, use the engine braking for trail braking, and DRS enabled for this third DRS zone as we make our way now into turn 11. This is also an opportunity to overtake, but you won't see many. But if you're on different tyres, age or tyre strategies, you might see some overtaking there with the tyre difference. Turn 12 here, flat out, don't touch the inside curb. Turn 13, want to kiss the apex on the entry, then use all of the road on the exit, just run it out wide. Coming around the final corner now, pick your braking point, which is about the 100-metre board, which he does do. Kiss the apex on the entry, bring it out wide, and Rudy's retired already. Wow. Where was that? He was on the medium compound tyres. Was it in the pit lane? I'm not quite sure what happened to Rudy there, but C4 Gamer goes quickest with a 26.2, 1/10 quicker than Mr. BT. His teammate Ferg is on an out lap, so he's about to cross the line now to start a flying lap. We're looking for the AlphaTauri now, down to P17. The other AlphaTauri, I should say, Foul Fury, as he makes his way towards the finish line then. And what's his lap time going to be? At 26.8, so half a second off of Mr. BT in P2. Het Bompje slots into P3 with a 26.5, and McLaren next, which is a real DC. No, it's Dual. He crossed the line to start a flying lap, so we'll keep an eye on his performance so far. Here comes the AlphaTauri on Mark then, as he makes his way around the final corner, braking at the 100-metre board. Get back on the throttle, and let's see what lap time will set with DRS enabled then for this straight. Is this quickest? Yes, it is. It's a 26.1. Look at that, 99 hundredths quicker than C4 Gamer, if I've done my maths right. Let me have a check, shall we? I can't even get the right graph. There we go. Oh, 98 hundredths. So I was close. Not close enough though. So, yep, 26.1, almost a 10th quicker than C. Who else we got that out there on the lap? We got Ferg on a lap then. A 105.0 in that middle sector. I think we're going to be aiming for the, is it 4s? I think. I'm not quite sure because obviously it changes over time from game to game. Coming around the final corner now, stays in 4th gear, runs out the exit, DRS enabled, and this lap time is going to be a 26.4, and he's up into 4th place, so just behind his teammate by 2/10. And the next to cross the line will be is it a AlphaTauri? Yes, it is. Where is he? AlphaTauri, is that Foul Fury? Yeah, it's Foul Fury. I think he's going for another lap time on these set of softs though. Or I think he's just completed it. Yeah, he's just completed a lap time, and that's a 26.6. So he's done 2 laps on these set of soft compound tyres. Q1 really, you don't really want to push too hard. All it is getting to the top 15. But obviously, with the pack being very close to each other, you want to push as hard as you can to make sure your safety into Q2. So just don't push too hard, but at the same time, you just want to find the limits and try and get yourself into a safe position. We've got ISO on night next to cross the line, and McLaren's about to cross the line, which is that Dual. It's the real DC, and he pops himself into 8th place. Here comes ISO on night, and he goes into P9, 5/10 away from DC. So I think he needs to improve his lap time if he wants to be up the pecking order. Danny Boy is currently the slowest out of the 10 times so far with a 27.6. And here comes Duval, then DC's teammate, and Duval is currently P9 in the championship. He's only 7 points ahead of Nathan, so his main championship contender tonight is Nathan and Rudy, because Rudy has retired from the session for unknown reasons. I'm not quite sure if it was in the pit lane or he crashed out on the track, but nevertheless he can't take part, and he'll start down to P20 unless someone else gets disqualified in Q1. So Deal then 7 points ahead of Nathan and 21 points ahead of Rudy, who's in P11, looking to get himself inside the top 10. And here comes Deal then making his way across the line. What's it going to be? It's a 26.6, and he puts himself in P8, just ahead of his teammate there in P9. Javine Visit got knocked out in Q2 last time. There he is then, coming to the S section there. There's a Red Bull in the way, that's Jime. Hopefully he gets out of the way for Jeroen Visser, which he does. I remember both Williams made contact at Singapore. That was Jaime, who was Jeroen Visser's teammate. There's a McLaren who's just spun. Yeah, has he spun? I don't think he has. I think he's getting out of the way for people there, but that is a common place to spin. And if you spin there, you're most likely to lose the front wing, at the very least. Sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you don't, but I think he was just getting out of the way for people on a flying lap there, so there's no need to worry about that one. We've got a Mercedes about to cross the line now. There's Walter then, our new champion of CRL. It's a 26.1, and look at that, only 500 slower than Mark, or 200 slower, sorry. Only 200 slower than Mark in P1. Jeroen Visser goes quickest with a 26.1, so we're getting ever so close to the 25s. We'll see the 25s when we get into Q2 or Q3 potentially, but will people start the medium compound tyres though? Because I think it is a one-shot strategy, but obviously there's multiple strategy choices around here. Both Red Bulls haven't set a lap time just yet. There's Jaime on a lap time coming towards turn 4, and his teammate is on the third DRS straight. Total Peach is yet to cross the line, and 4.6 in that middle sector, so that's a decent middle sector for Total Peas. His main rival for tonight and the next 3 races is Jeroen Visser. Keep an eye on those two, because those two have been fantastic throughout the whole season with their on-track battles they've had. And here comes Total Peas there. What's he going to be? The first driver just in the 25s. Look at that, 25.999. So look at that from Total Peas. On it straight away in Q1. I think somebody spun coming towards turn 12. Is that a Ferrari? Yes, it is. And has he lost his front wing? I'm not quite sure, but his car was facing the wrong way, so I wonder if Danny Boy made an error by touching that inside curb at turn 12. Looks like the front wing is okay. Will he have to come back to the pit lane with a slight front wing damage? He may occur on the by touching the wall. So 3 drivers, I say 2 now because somebody's just crossed the line, which was Jaime. Jaime's in a P9 with a 26.5. We've just got 2 drivers yet to cross the line to start flying lap. There's Nathan JB and Choi A in P19, so we're just waiting for them for a lap time on the board. We know Nathan is an easy candidate to get inside the top 10, so I don't think it should affect him. But anyways, on board with Nathan JB. Jeroen Visser knows he's already safe, so there's no need to take part. You only want to use 1 set of tyres if you can help it, of course, in Q1, because you need to save them for Q2 and Q3, depending if you want to go on the mediums or not. But the more tyres you save, the better it'll be for you later in qualifying, and possibly the race if there's a late safety car as well, because you have that extra set of softs there to use. Nathan JB, look at the helmet design. I quite like that from Nathan JB. A 27.8 in the first sector, now making his way down to turn 8. Can be a little bit of a difficult corner. You want to kiss the apex, then get back on the throttle once the car straighten up. Now you want to brake in a straight line coming towards turn 9 and turn 10. Use the trail braking. Get back on the power once the car straighten up. Short shifting for a better exit and reduce that wheel spin. We make our way now towards turn 11, then braking just before the 50-meter board. You don't want to run it on that curb on the outside there, because somebody's just spun again through turn 12. That's a Ferrari in the barriers. Is that Danny Boy again? He's actually crashed. I think Danny Boy's actually crashed, so yes, it is Danny Boy. Danny Boy has officially been knocked out of Q1. Danny Boy's already done 4 laps on those set of tyres, so he's already spun twice through turn 12, so he's been caught twice. And Nathan then crossed the line to go P3. That's a very good lap time there from the Haas driver. A very comfortable first lap, I must say, so it looks like he is definitely safe. And where's Choi A in the Williams? Choi A then a 5.2 in the middle sector. That could be decent enough to get himself inside the top 15. Would have thought so, but with the pad being so tight there, you never know. Coming around the final corner now, Choi A, as you can see, he's only fueled the car for 1 lap only. As you can see at the bottom of your screen, the fuel light is flashing, and Choi A is only P15. So he is in danger territory, as he has to get outside now to do some more lap times, see if he can get himself safely into Q2, because he's on the cusp of elimination there. So Choi A's got to worry. Got a few more drivers on their outlets, such as Hebobia being in P11. Let's see who's safe, shall we? In my opinion, it's so close, isn't it? P9 downwards. I don't know actually. It depends how much lap time these drivers can find, because with the track evolving, the track getting faster as well, that could also be a factor to why these drivers go quicker, or the drivers be more confident on their lap finding the limits as well. So you never know what could happen. There's 4 minutes left to go in this session, so plenty of time for everybody to produce a decent enough lap time to get themselves to Q2. But 2 drivers who have retired, which is Rudy and Danny Boy, so 3 of them are in the bottom zone. And we see the Dutch driver then make his way across the line to start a second flying lap then on these brand new set of soft compound tyres. So Hebobia has used an extra set of softs because he don't believe he is safe. Coming into turn 1 then, let's see what takes a slight lock up on entry, but that won't affect him too much. You want to get the first braking zone absolutely spot on, because it's so easy to go wide and misjudge the braking zone. You want to brake at the precise point where it tells you to, or if you're using no line, then obviously find that perfect braking zone. The first sector, he's half a tenth up in the first sector, so found a little bit of time, but as you expected, he's gone out wide and he's invalidated it, so that's Hebobia already compromised. In terms of fuel, it shouldn't be too bad, because obviously he's fueled the car for more than 1 lap or 2, so it's only the first sector that he's invalidated it, so he's got plenty of fuel hopefully left on board. I don't think he'll go back in the pit lane and put on a brand new set of softs, because that'll be a wise thing to do, bearing in mind he is a contender for Q3 as we've seen in the past. So Hebobia just needs to recharge the battery and just maintain focus and go for another lap time. It's so easy to invalidate around this track, especially at this corner here through turn 13, because when you're following another car in dirty air, it's just so easy to just understeer off wide. So Hebobia they go for another attempt at it, coming around the final corner. Nathan's retired in P3, he's definitely safe. Here comes Hebobia then for another lap time on these set of soft compound tyres. Make our way down into the first heavy braking zone. This is a place where you'll see your overtaking happening. If not, this battle will continue all the way to turn 3, turn 4 and turn 5, because obviously the second DRS zone could also assist those drivers. Coming into turn 4 we go, down into 3rd gear, short shift up to 4th, doesn't go out wide. His first sector, he's up on his first sector, so better first sector than last lap, and he doesn't go wide this time. That can affect your confidence if you go for the lap time, because you want to be thinking, I don't want to go wide there. You'll change your approach to it. Coming into turn 9 and turn 10 then, trail braking, down into 3rd gear we go. You can see him locking up all the way down into turn 10, but that won't cost you too much. Making our way down into turn 11 then. You want to kiss the apex on the edge. You don't necessarily want to ride it, but Hebobia makes his way to turn 11 now. He's 600s up in the middle sector. That's definitely enough to improve his position, but is he safe? Because we've got loads of drivers out of track to start their final flying laps. As Hebobia then makes his way towards the final corner, needs to get this absolutely spot on, which he does so. The way he hooked up with that corner was very nice indeed. Hebobia makes his way across the line. It's P8. He's inside the top 10. Aston Martin, it's surprisingly, Seymour Gamer's gone for the lap time. I thought being in P7 would be safe enough, but he wants to ensure that he's safe. We've got next across the line is an AlphaTauri. That is Valfiori, who's improved by 1/10 in the middle sector. Is this going to be enough to get himself? Yes, it is. It's P8 for Valfiori. So decent lap time as the McLaren driver is making his way around the final corner. That's the real DC who is knocked out. Can he get himself into Q2? Oh, he's just knocked out by a 10th as well. So Troye on an outlap, looking to see if anybody else can improve. There's Alex in the Red Bull. 3/10 up in the middle sector. Is this 3/10 could be enough to get himself into Q3? We'll find out soon as he makes his way around the final corner though. You can see the car slide on the exit, so he may have lost a bit of time through there. And he crossed the line to go up into P13. So despite that error, he still found a bit of time. Maybe on his last lap he didn't find the time he wanted. So finally P13 for Alex. Here comes Duval across the line. It's going to be P15. Oh dear. Troye has been knocked out, but he could do something about it as he's on a lap time. Where's the real DC? He's just crossed the line. ISO Knight, 5.2 seconds down, and he's currently down in P18. 5 seconds left to go. So qualifier 1 is over for Ice Fortnite. So Duel is safe from Knight and DC. It's just gotta be good. We just gotta watch out for Choi A then. Don't know what his first sector was like, but for his sake, hopefully it was enough, because look at that. Look at the difference between Duel and Choi A. Only about almost 200 in it between the two. Barely separated those two. Matching by a decimal point as he makes his way towards turn 11, and let's see if he takes it. Nice exit from him. Let's see what his middle sector is like. Is this going to be enough to get himself into Q2? Goes a bit wide through turn 11, turn 12 sorry, turn 13 now, and he's a 10th up in the middle sector, so if he doesn't invalidate, he should find himself into Q2. Doesn't need to mess up now, he needs to find himself to get a good exit coming around the final corner. And Choi then makes his way towards the line, and it's definitely enough, is it? Yep, P11, so that has knocked out Duel. Duel's on another lap time, so he's only a few hundreds up. Can he get himself into Q2? Can he knock Alex out? Here he is across the line, P15 just, and Alex, sadly for him, has been knocked out of Q1. So Duel got himself back into Q2, only just though, by doing 2 laps on those set of tyres. That's it for Q1 then. Let's see if we see a change of tyre strategies in Q2. So Tuatapes is quickest by a 10th ahead of Jeroen Visser. Nathan looking good in P3. Mark in P4. Walter P5. Mr. BT P6. Steve Gamer P7. Valfiore P8. Headbob P9. Fergie P10. AJ P11. He just improved at the last second to go P11. Choi A P12. Indian Jesus P13. Giant P14. Duel P15. Alex, DC and Knight, Danny Boy, Rudy have been knocked out of Q1. We don't know why Rudy retired. Maybe he got a qualifying ban, maybe he crashed his flying lap. I don't know why, but he will start in last place, sadly for him. Not what he needs in his championship fight to get inside the top 10. But obviously we've got the race ahead of us, so we'll see. Those 5 drivers can join the sidelines with me and watch the action throughout Q2 and Q3. Good evening, Nathan JB. I just checked the comments. Rudy has got a qualifying ban, so that's why you saw him retire at the very early stages of Q1. So that explains why that happened, because I didn't see him crash on track. So he just retired at the pit lane, doing as he's told, and hopefully, whatever reason he got a qualifying ban for, he can make up for in the race. Right then, so let's see what tyres people have opted to go for. So you can see 3 drivers on the mediums, but this could change further on. Maybe they could do a banker lap on the softs earlier on, then go for the medium tyres later. Do you want to start the medium tyres around here? The tyre eats up the soft tyres quite a lot. It depends how long you can stretch your first stint for. Bearing in mind safety cars are a massive factor. I can see about 1 safety car coming out. Yeah, I've always seen safety cars come out around here because it's very, very easy to lose it around this track, especially when the tyres get older and older, they lose that grip. And therefore, your car starts to slide more in the most crucial places like this. This is a place where you can lose it easily on that curb there. You can get away with it like Steve or head bump you and just invalidate or get a warning, but most of the time, the curb will send you off into the wall. Nathan JB then, so qualified P3 in Q1 on his first lap. So can we see a change in fortune? I keep saying this every single race for Nathan JB, but because he's had a massive change in season compared to his last, after finishing P3 in the drivers. I think AJ just overtook him and got the better of him in the last few races last season, but Nathan JB coming to this season, I thought he'd be a contention for the Drivers' Championship, but that's not to be. Nevertheless, you can always, there's always next season. No rush at whatsoever, but Nathan's got 3 races to try and prove himself and obviously try and stay in that top 10 in the championship. So here he is then, Nathan JB on a lap time on the soft compound tyres then. DRS are wide open for this straight. I'll just let you watch the action. Here we are, the Nathan JB across the line with a 27.3, so that lap time is 1.2 seconds slower. So my analysis of that lap time, he was taking it really cautiously. He wasn't really attacking the corners like you expect him to be. C4 gave it also another driver to get the 26s. So my theory is these two could potentially switch over to the medium compound tyres. Walter at 26.1 on the soft compound tyres. What he did in Q2, look at Ferg's lap time at 27.1 on the mediums, and Jaime up into P2 with a 26.9. Also a huge 8/10 away from Walter. So that was a really cautious lap from Nathan. Didn't see him really make any mistakes except the first corner where he went a little bit wide, but that don't cost you a second. He was taking it really cautiously on that lap, so I wonder if he will switch over to the mediums in my theory. Mark up into P5 with a 27.3, only a few hundreds away from Nathan JB, and Jeroen Visser up into P1 with a 25.9, so he's definitely started those soft compound tyres, because he can't go quick on those mediums surely. So these lap times, they're already in the 25.9s. It's quicker than Q1's time by about 700s already. Where's Total Peas? He's currently down to P9 in the pit lane, so Total Peas is about to make his way out the pit lane. Duval on making his way across the line to start a flyer lap time. AJ Wuhan then on a lap time of 5.3 in that middle sector for the Mercedes driver. I think he could be also under pressure to get inside the top 10, because he was 11th in Q1, so he needs to find more time to improve to make sure he can get himself into Q3. And AJ goes up into P4 with a 26.9. Aston Martin goes back in the pit lane. So Ferg, then the highest medium runner in P5. Is he wanting to start those medium compound tyres? Bearing in mind the track will get better sooner as it starts to evolve. You don't really see rain around Bahrain. I've actually never been in a race where it's actually raining qualifying or the race, so it's never wet around here. We're in the Middle East, of course. Head Bob here, got purple at the middle sector as he makes his way now towards the final corner. Takes it nicely then as he makes his way towards the DRS zone to activate it, and this lap time is going to be a 27.3 in P6. I say some of these lap times are slower than Q1. Here comes Indian Jesus then, the German driver, going up into P3 with a 26.5. Mr. BT next across the line. Mr. BT goes into P7, also on those medium compound tyres as well. Only a 10th behind, not even a 10th, it was just a few hundreds behind Ferg in P6, and the Aston Martin Duval pops himself up into P4, a 26.8 as well. So mixture of tyres being sets then. Total Peach is yet to cross. Yeah, there he is then on a flying lap, making his way down into turn 1, braking before the 100 metre board. Usually I like to brake before it, not on it, because I tend to go wide as I brake on the 100 metre board. Some people like to brake on the 100 metre board, but that's your preference really. Your confidence, preference, bravery or style. Depends if you can slow it down, but most importantly what you want to do is just slow it down for turn 1 and try and get the best execute out there along with turn 2 and turn 3. First sector, a 27.6, decent first sector for him. Attacks these SS sections here. Going into turn 8 now, this can be a little bit of a difficult corner, but manages to make his way around it. Through turn 9 and turn 10 we go. Get back in the power then, using DRS enable for this third straight, as we'll make our way down into turn 11. Like I said before in Q1, not really an opportunity to overtake, but obviously if you're on different tyres compared to someone, then that's where you'll see the overtaking happen. But normal combat racing, you don't really see it often, but still. Total P is purple in that middle sector there as he makes his way now all the way down to the final corner, braking at the 100 metre board, or just after it said. Gets back at the throttle, let's see what lap time Total P's will set. And this lap time is going to be a 25.8. Wow, on it tonight is Total P's, and crucially it's ahead of Jeroen Visser. Don't really matter if you're ahead of him or not, but as long as you get inside the top 10, that's all it matters really. But that's a fantastic lap time yet again from Total P's, putting on a great display of his driving. So Choye and Foul Fury yet to cross the line to do their flyer laps. There's Choye with a 27.9 in that first sector. So I see people take that corner through 4th gear, 5th gear and 6th gear. Total Peace took those 2 corners through 4th gear there. I think, what would I do? I think I'll be 5th gear through the S section, but it all depends on your setup really, and the way you take those corners. Here's Troy A, they make his way around turn 11, rotate the car, DRS wide open then for this 3rd DRS straight. Rotated the car very nicely through there, makes his way down into turn 11. You don't want to put it on the outside curve there because it will send you out wide and there's no coming back from it. Turn 12, don't touch that inside curve, which he almost did. A 5.2 in that middle sector. Kiss the apex of the entry, run it out on the curb. Now, coming all the way down the straight then, as we make our way down to the final corner, braking at the 100 metre board. He goes down into 3rd gear for the extra rotation. You can see the car slide on the exit, and he has bad time for his lap time. He's not happy. Will he dive into the pits? No, he don't. So this lap time will be a 30.0. So Troy A is obviously not happy with his lap time there. Indian Jesus has retired already in this session. He hasn't crashed. He's retired in the pit lane. So I wonder if he's if he thinks he's safe. He's had enough. Let's see. Val Fury makes his way across the line, and this is a 27.5 and goes up into P14. Hash driver next across the line. That's Nathan JB again up into P3. So he's done 2 laps on those set of softs. So I wonder, that last lap time, was it a precautionary lap time? I'm not quite sure, because you wouldn't really want to do that in Q2. Driving around slowly on your first lap, then go for it again on your second lap. You didn't really make any obvious mistakes as such as going too wide or a stop of oversteer or going off the track. So I wonder if he was just, I don't know what he's doing, but anyways, up into P3. Sevo Gable up into P4, and Aston Martin, decent lap time from him. 600s quicker than Nathan JB. Or 6,000 shall I say. Mr. BT in P12 then, go for a lap time on the soft compound tyres. His best lap is on the soft, so I wonder if everybody's going to go onto the softs now. That's the tyre they will start on. I thought for a track like this you'd go on the medium compound tyres, because I thought the soft tyres would get eaten up really quickly around here, but it turns not to be. I think you can do like, I've seen some people do 18 laps on the softs, but obviously they got a puncher towards the end, if you know what league I'm talking about. 3/10 quicker as you expect on those soft compound tyres. He rides the curbs aggressively, does Mr. BT. Luckily he doesn't spin the rear wheels up. As Ferg is up into P2 with a 25.8. It's interesting to see what he can do in Q3 then. Another driver in the 25s. I'd love to see Ferg win a race again. Ready to turn back to racing. Mr. BT makes his way towards turn 11, breaking before the 50 metre board. Just want to slightly kiss the apex on the entry, don't drift it out too wide. Then obviously avoid this curb here. Danny Boy has already been a victim of this curb. 1 second quicker in the middle sector. This is a 26.2, unless you can find more time in that final sector. This lap time should put him up to P8, so Mr. BT needs to find a bit more time to guarantee his safety. Coming around the final corner then. A bit of slipstream thanks to Nathan JB, or he dives to the pit lane, as Mr. BT is up into P2. Wow! He actually found 3/10 in that final sector, 25.8. The lap times keep tumbling down, and they keep surprising me as well, so I can't wait to see what happens in Q3. Only about, what's that? About almost 200 slower than total Ps, so that's very good between Mr. BT, Ferg. We haven't seen Mr. BT like this since the British Grand Prix in Silverstone, where he was on for a potential podium, but obviously the pressure kicked in and he picked up a 3-second time penalty in a rather strange place where you don't really see people pick up a penalty. That's pressure for you, as Heb Bompia then is currently outside the top 10 on the wrong side of the firing line, so he needs to find a time to get himself inside that top 10. DRS wide open then. Mark's retired. Is that safe for Mark? Is that safe for Walter in fact? Because you never know if Dewald, AJ, Fowl, Choye and Bompia could find more lap time. In fact, I think they could be safe, but has Dewald and AJ got it in them? In fact, they're definitely safe. Can they find 7/10s? Who knows? If they can find 7/10s, then there might be a bit of danger, but I think he's safe. He is safe. Obviously, in terms of position, I thought he wasn't safe, but in terms of lap time, he is safe. Hey Bompia, then what can he do? on a brand new set of soft compound tyres, so he's used up about 3 sets of softs already in the first 2 qualifying sessions. Making his way around turn 12. Is it improvement? Yes, it's 8 tenths, so this should put him into... Oh, he's gone wide, and he doesn't invalidate. I bet his heart was going there as soon as he went off the track. Sometimes you can get away with it, sometimes you can't. As he makes his way around the final corner now, can Hebompier get himself into the top 10 securely? And there he is, then across the line he goes, and oh, he's just inside the top 10. Is that safe enough from Hebompier? And Indian Jesus has been knocked out. I thought Indian Jesus wasn't safe enough in Q2, so if he's in a good position in P11. If you are knocked outside the top 10, primarily you want to be in the P11 because obviously you get a brand new set of tyres and he'll go for a longer stint on those mediums if he does start P11. But yep, the best place to start if you're outside the top 10. AJ 5 tenths up in that middle sector then. Is this lap time going to put himself into Q3? He needs to find about one more tenth or 2 in that final sector. DRS is enabled now. Can he get himself in the top 10? Yes, he can. He goes up into P7. He found a lot more time in that last sector, and he pushes Hebompier out. Hebompier is on another lap time, but he's a few hundreds down in the first sector. Dearwall then, he's also knocked out. Farrell Fury's improved by 4 tenths in the first sector already, so showing a good side. Troye is the only the only medium runner out there, so can he get himself in the top 10 on these medium compound tyres? The only driver to do something different as qualifying has come to an end. 0 seconds left, the checker flag is waving, so that's the last lap time. Hebompier makes his way around the final corner, he's improved almost by 2 tenths, so can he get himself back in the top 10? It's going to be so close. Here he is then. What lap time is this going to be? And it's P10, he's back in the top 10 by 2 tenths. Just at the cusp, right at the end there, as Dearwall has improved by 2 tenths in the first sector. What's his middle sector going to be? Oh, he's lost a bit of time in that middle sector, has Dearwall. Whether it was a mistake or whether he missed the braking point, who knows, but it's all coming down to the wire as Troye makes his way around the final corner then. Can he get himself in the top 10 on those medium compound tyres? And no, he's not, sadly for him. Where's Dearwall? There he is then. Can he get himself in the top 10? No, he stays in P14, so that's qualifying over as Farrell Fury did not get inside the top 10, but he'll start at P12. Hebompier just got himself inside the top 10 there. Q2 is over and I will pop off to the toilet. Q3 then. Who will take pole position? Could we see a new face on pole? Could it be Mr. BT for his first ever pole position in CRL? Could it be Total P's? Or could it be Ferg, who hasn't taken pole since last season? We're on for a spectacular Q3 shootout. Who's going to remain on top? Yeah, we're coming to the close of the season with only 3 races left. This one, Russia and Brazil. What a way to top it off at the Brazilian Grand Prix. Championship's already been decided with Walter in P1, our new champion. And the battle for second place is still on between 2 fantastic drivers, Total P's and Jeroen Visser. They're separated by 3 points. With the way Total P's has been going so far this season, can he take that second place away? Or can Jeroen Visser find something and defend that P2 from Total P's? It's either going to be second or third for Total P's or Jeroen, because 4th place is too far away to do anything about it, which is Mark in P4. He's currently, his championship fight is between C4 Gamer and Het Bompje. I think Mark had the upper hand in Q2 ahead of C4 Gamer. AJ is also in contention because he's only 3 points behind Het Bompje, but AJ has got himself into Q3. To Griff, is he here? I don't think Griff is here tonight, so he's currently P8 in the championship, defending from Dual, Nathan and Rudy. Obviously, can Nathan try and defend P2, P10 away from Rudy and try and close him from Dual? Because the way Nathan's going so far is okay, because we've seen performances like this from Nathan. Sometimes he can have good races and bad races. He's not really consistent like Total P's, Jeroen or Walter. When he does have a good race, it all could go bad in one corner like Austria at turn 3 where he spun. Forget about that. We're on board with Mark then as he makes his way towards turn 1. I think he started 2nd place in Singapore, didn't he? Can he go one better at Bahrain at the 2nd consecutive night race? Nice exit from turn 2 and turn 3, using the traction to just power out of the corner. Coming into turn 4, brake at the 100-meter board, kiss the apex of the entry. Don't spin the rear up around here because it's very easy to do that. 27.7 in the first set to ride the curves nicely today. You want to avoid this curve here as much as you can, otherwise you'll find yourself in the barriers. Coming through turn 8, then use the throttle to rotate the car. Coming through turn 9 and turn 10, trail braking around here. Does he go down to first gear? No, he doesn't, because some people go down to first gear. As you can see, the rear end is unstable as he applies the throttle and the exit at turn 10. Now making his way through turn 11. Should be an easy corner, this one. Shouldn't see any problems through here. And turn 12, there shouldn't be any problems through here unless you touch that inside curb. You want to get as close to it as you can, then bring it out wide for turn 13. Kiss the apex here, bring it out wide for turn 14. Now simple straight here towards turn 15. Braking before the 50-meter mark, or probably at the 75-meter mark. But here comes Mark coming around the final corner. Then what lap time can he set? DRS is enabled. What's this lap time going to be? A 25.9. His first appearance in the 25s. Het Bompje is next to cross the line with a 26.7. Mercedes is next to cross the line. Is that Walter? No, it's his teammate. AJ is going to cross the line next, and his brother's right behind him. AJ in P3. Nathan goes P, about to start his flying lap, so he's getting that slipstream behind his teammate. And where is Walter? Walter with a 25.9. Look at that gap between the top 2. 3,000 separate the top 2. We're just waiting for Mr. BT, Ferg, Total P's. Where's Jeroen Visser? Jeroen Visser crossed the line and he takes pole. It's a 25.8 ahead of Relentless Mark. And Ferg up into P2. Look at the gap between the top 2 as well. I'm so glad Ferg's back in the mix here. Where's Mr. BT? Mr. BT has just started his flying lap. There he is down in P10. So we're just waiting for them. We'll go on board with Nathan then. 27.7 in the first sector. That's what Mark did in the first sector. Coming out of turn 8. Look at the rear. Just unsettled there. As he applies the throttle there. Has to catch the car. Coming through turn 9 and turn 10. Car rotating nicely. Gets a good exit in comparison to Mark, where he slightly lost the rear end of the car, when Nathan JB had it all sorted out at the exit of the corner. Coming into turn 11 then. Want to kiss the inside there, which he exactly does. Short shift to minimise that wheel spin. Get the best possible exit out of here. Turn 12 flat out, no problem through there. A 4.7 in the middle sector. The car's responding nicely towards Nathan's liking, doing as exactly what Nathan wants it to do. As the Alpha Tauri and the Alfa Romeo come back in the pit lane, ready to go out for a second lap. Nathan JB then, nice final exit from him. What's this lap time going to be? It's going to be a 26.0, so he's up into P5, and the Mercedes driver of Walter and AJ are in the pit lane. Total P's is next across the line. No, it's not. It's a Aston Martin. Mr. BT, 4.5 in the middle sector from him. Makes his way around the final corner now. What can he do? Can he get himself in the 25s like he did in Q2? What's this lap time going to be? Oh, it's pole position! It's pole from Mr. BT! 300s quicker from Jeroen Visser. We have a new pole man. We have a new driver on pole, but can he stay there in the next few minutes? This is going to be so interesting to watch in these upcoming minutes, but I can't wait to see how it pans out. We've still got Total P's yet to cross the line, and C4 Gamer 2, who did not do a lap time. Here comes Total P's then, makes his way towards the final corner. What's it going to be? It's pole again at 25.7. He snatches pole by a tenth, does Total P's, ahead of Mr. BT. Someone predicted that Mr. BT would be on pole position. Obviously not me during the practice sessions. I wasn't expecting that whatsoever. I wasn't going to doubt him, obviously, but from his performance, you usually see him knocked out in Q2, but it's so nice to see him up into P2. A very nice driver who owns a league by himself, up into P2. I'm so glad he's there. Number 88, just like Mark. So as all the drivers make their way back into the pit lane, ready to go out for their final flying lap or two, depending if they mess up on the first lap, have enough fuel to go for a second lap time. Obviously Total P's and Mr. BT going out much later in comparison to everybody else. C4 Gamer in the Aston Martin did not set a lap time. I didn't see him invalidate. I don't think I was on board with him when he did, but currently down in P10. I just can't wait for these next upcoming minutes in this qualified session. Harvey Lees, Harvey Lees, how you doing, mate? How you doing tonight? Harvey, when do we expect you back for racing, mate? Hopefully we'll see you soon. I know you got exams going on, so I wish you the best of the exams, but I want to see you back here racing. All the drivers back inside in the pit lane. Yeah, if you wonder why I pressed the home screen to check the comments, that's because my phone won't connect to the internet. So, in the most appropriate time, I will check the comments by using the home screen, but obviously in the most important time, I won't. Yep, hopefully we'll see you back on the grid, Harvey. Have a fantastic evening, whatever you're doing, watching the stream, or revising for your exams. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in this qualifying session. Maybe you could join me in commentary, Harvey, if you want to sometime. That'd be a massive help towards me, but obviously it's your choice. You can do what you want. But hopefully we'll see you back in racing sometime. So we'll go on board with Nathan JB first, as he's the first man to come out of the pit lane. Currently in P7. A 26.0. Can he find that lap time to get himself in the 25s? With the track at its best, you can see massive improvements coming for the drivers. 2 minutes and 55 seconds left to go. We've got a few more drivers coming out of the pit lane now with Mr. BT, Jeroen Visser, Het Bompje and AJ Fergs just got himself out of the garage. Look at the top three, look at the top four, the top six in fact, separated by 2/10. It's just unbelievable. Any of these 6 drivers, or 7, if Nathan can find the lap time, can take pole position, but it's going to be ever so tantalisingly close. I just can't wait to see what happens later when 2 minutes and 20 seconds have been ticked down to 0. Nathan JB then, on his final flying lap, unless he makes a mistake and goes for another one, breaking the hood before the 100-metre ball. Can he get the car slowed down, which he does? Gets back on the throttle using short shifting to help his exit. DRS open for the second straight. We also see people overtaking around here. Coming into turn 4 now. Nice exit from him. Gets back in the throttle. Let's see his first sector at 20. Does that mean... I think he set his exact same lap time as the last one. So I think he's just matched his first sector. That's consistency for you. A little bit of a twitch coming out of turn 8. He backs off. Nathan JB is not happy with his lap time. He has backed off, so we'll go on board with somebody else, shall we? Het Bonpier, I think. Het Bonpier was next across the line, wasn't he? He was behind Nathan. He's improved by almost half a tenth. Makes his way through turn 8 now. He's got a car ahead of him. I think that car will get out of the way, which is Mark, the AlphaTauri, the only AlphaTauri left in this session. Coming towards turn 9 and turn 10 then. This time he doesn't have a bad exit, because I think the last time out he had a squirrely exit, and he's managed to sort it out as we make our way down into turn 11. Kisses the apex on the entry. Oh, he touched that curb there, might have put him off a bit, but no problems. My final middle sector, 3 tenths up, or 4 tenths should I say. So can he get himself ahead of Nathan? He backs off. Why has he? Oh, he's not happy with his lap time. So he makes his way around the final corner then to go slower than his previous best. At 26.8, so I wonder why he backed off. He's not happy either with his lap time. I don't know why he's not happy. AJ's gone off the track, but he's improved by 9 tenths and got away with it, just like Het Bonpier in Q2. Mark's crossed the line to start his final flying lap. Walter's about to cross the line to start his final flying lap, so there's no second chances. AJ's lost it on the curb there. And sadly he will improve up into P8, so he still improves, but he up into P8 ahead of Het Bonpier. Where's C4 Gamer coming towards turn 11 now? Almost did an Alex Albon in 2020. Qualifying's ended. Where's Ferg? There he is then. Ferg in the Aston Martin. Can he take pole position? What's he going to be? At 25.7, just close towards total P's. That was so close. Look at that. Separated by 300. Up in the front where he goes ahead of Mr. BT. Mr. BT is on a flying lap. Go on board with C4 Gamer to see what lap time he does in the other Aston Martin. What's this lap time going to be? Up into P9 ahead of Het Bonpier. Nathan JB, 3 tenths up in the middle sector. 3 tenths. This could be so close. He needs to get the final corner absolutely spot on. He can't let the pressure get to him. Coming around the final corner, gets a decent final corner. Can Nathan JB take pole position away? It's going to be so close. It's a 25.6. He's on pole. He's on pole position. Total Peace takes back pole position with a 26.5. Mr. BT next across the line, only improving by in the middle sector by 500s. That was so close, but I got my heart going there when Nathan got pole position, or just got pole position. But AlphaTauri next across the line. Mark up into P4 he goes. AJ next across the line. No, he's not. That's Walter. Walter's up into P3. Mr. BT up into P4. Chiruvaza is the only man that can deny total P's from pole position. No, he can't. It's P2. Wow, what a qualified session that is. But Nathan JB on the second row, after the season he's had this season, finally gets what he deserves. Got it all hooked up in that final sector there, Nathan JB. Wow, what a qualified session. Look at the gaps as well, unbelievable. But in the end, it was Total Peas who claimed pole position by a tenth ahead of Chiruvaza. It's going to be so close because remember, the top 2 in the race are fighting for P2 in the championship. 3 points separate them, and Total Peas has the upper hand in terms of track position. Look at that. Nathan and Walter have set the exact same lap time, P3 and P4. That was a stunning end to that qualifying session there. Well, the closest has been again this season. We'll just wait for the race. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different constructors in the top 8. Wow. You don't see that often. 8 different constructors inside the top 8. We're just missing Red Bull at the moment, which is Jaime and who else is the Red Bull driver? I can't think now, but we'll just wait till the race comes. Jime and Alex, there you go, they're the Rebel drivers. We just need them in the top 10. So we can make it 9 different constructors inside the top 10. And the McLarens, Dual and DC. That's the 2 constructors we're missing inside the top 10. I just took a Soothie because my throat went at the end of that qualifying session, so bear in mind if you can hear me. I'll be gone before the race, don't worry. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Ferg and Mark have been disqualified from the formation lap. So those tyres will be cold at the start of the race, so they could find themselves dropping down if they don't be careful. So, all 3 tyre compounds being used. Hard tyres are being used by Indy, Jesus and Dual down there in P13 and P14, just going for a long stint. Those tyres could go possibly towards the end if they want to. Battle Fury, Jime, Troy A, Knowsley, DC, Knight, Danny Boy and Rudy on the medium compound tyres. The rest in the top 10 as you expect on the soft compound tyres, so the highest medium runner is Jime, as he got the pace in the Red Bull to try and stick with those soft runners and later gain in the later stages of the race. Remember, Jeroen Visser is ahead of Total P's in the championship only by 3 points. Jeroen Visser needs to do something here to try and stop Total P's from gaining on him in these last few races. Jeroen Visser only scoring that 1 point, so he lost a whole lot of points towards Total P's. He lost 27 points in the last race, which is a huge amount. In one race, 27 points, so he just needs to make sure he needs to end Total P's run of good results. If you just tuned in, that was a fantastic qualifying session. Might want to go back and watch my reaction, but now we're on for the race as we wait for all 20 drivers to line up, which is Rudy is the last one. We're used to seeing the Haas back of the grid. Watch out for Rudy as well, because we all know he's got the pace. Could he be the one to try and he always goes for different strategies. When the safety car comes out, it's always the man to watch, so keep an eye on him and down in P20. But anyways, we're just waiting for the lights now to start this 29 lap race. Five lights are out and Dual's already picked up a drive-through penalty as Dual makes his way up into P1. Total P's takes second place ahead of Jeroen Visser, cuts the inside line away from him. Dual goes wide into turn 1. Dual has cost a lot of people positions there. Jeroen Visser going side by side with Dual now. He should get past him on those soft compound tyres, and there's yellow flags down there already. That's Alfa Romeo, and that's Ferg on those hot meaty soft compound tyres. Cold soft compound tyres for Ferg, so that might have cost him. But Walter is all over the back of Dual. What would you do if you Dual? Would you stay behind? Here comes Walter then going down the inside into turn 8 ahead of Dual there. Got a massive head start, did the French driver. And here comes Nathan JB next to overtake Dual. Dual, oh, AJ spun! AJ has spun. And he's rejoined now in P11. He's going to lose a place to Foul Fury as the virtual safety car has been deployed, so it'll slow things down. I'm afraid AJ going to give the place up to Fury. Look at that, AJ versus Fury, I can finally say. But Duel then, up into P4, I dare say he could compromised what could have happened if he did get a drive-through penalty. I don't know how to put it into words, but he's messed up a lot of people's races by him being out of sync in P4. Got to serve his drive-through penalty. Can you serve? Oh, it's a safety car. It's just transformed into a safety car, so he can't serve his drive-through penalty. You can't serve penalties when you're in full safety car conditions. And into the pit lane comes Walter already on lap 1. Now, who's going to follow him into the pit lane? Is that his Mercedes teammate? No, it's not his Mercedes team. Yes, it is. No, that's an Aston Martin. Yes, Aston Martin. So Aston Martin, Red Bull, the Renault, the Alpine, shall I say, is in the pit lane. Loads of drivers are in the pit lane. Is that the right choice? Safety car on lap 1. A lot of decisions need to be made, but Duel jump at the start, I dare say, has ruined people's races because I don't know how bad he jumped the start, but obviously it's bad enough to get himself into P1 at the start of the race. So he might have cost some people a lot of choices by getting past people they need to, or having the normal start procedure. But I think Duel, when he got that drive-through penalty, he should have stopped and continued his normal start because, like I said, he's interfered with the top runners. Obviously, made some people spin and crash as well because he's gonna be slower, like on those hard compound tyres and his pace in general. He's gonna be slower on towards the skies of the softs. So, like I said, those hards versus those new softs, well, new softs versus new softs, it's not really a place you want to be, really. Yeah, so we'll have a look at the most gain and the most loss, shall we? So, first, second stayed where they are. Duel's gained 11 places. Nathan dropped 1. Mr. BT stayed where he started. Mark's gained 1. I expect most people to lose 1 position because of Duel's jump start. Valfio's gave 4. ISO Knight, P9 from P18. That's because people pitted as well. So the highest people that's pitted then. Let's have a look, shall we? So, P11 downwards. In fact, it's half the field have pitted, half the field hasn't. So Walter's the highest driver that's pitted down in P11. What tyres he gone for? Is it mediums? Yeah, it's mediums. I expect so because he's doing a 2-shot strategy, soft, medium, medium. Majority of drivers such as Jime, Seavor Gamer, Rudy, Head Bompius, DC, Troye, Alex have gone for the hard compound tyres, so expect them to go to the end. You never know. Might see another safety car towards the later stages of this race. So, Indy and Jesus in the Alpine on the 2-shot. Whoa, I thought we were going to pits there. On the 2-shot strategy along with Danny Boy on the mediums too. Alex is into the pit lane then on the hard compound tyres. What tyres going for? He's going to go on the... What's that? I can't see from here. It's the medium compound tyres, so he's opted to go for another set of mediums. Did he start on mediums or was it hards? So there's only 2 drivers that started on hards. Mediums, hards, mediums. Oh, I see what he's doing. He's using 2 compounds and getting rid of the hard compound tyres, but those mediums won't make it to the end. So you might have to make another pit stop back onto those mediums or softs depending when the safety car comes in. But he doesn't want to go on the hards. So that's why he switched over to a brand new set of mediums. Because obviously got to use more than 1 tyre compound in the race. So, 3rd lap in, safety car, Total P still leads the race. He got a good start off the line. Jeroen Vizser couldn't really do anything because he had a McLaren steaming up his inside and he couldn't really go for the overtake because Duel was there. And Nathan JB in P4 losing 1 position to Duel. It didn't really do AJ any favours down there in P7. Hopefully he doesn't get any damage from the contact he had with Mark. I think it was Mark anyway. But we don't know what happened to Ferg. Ferg and Het Bompier could have came together. I'm not quite sure. Het Bompier is on a brand new set of hards while Ferg's in P10 on the soft compound tyres. So unsure what happened to Ferg and Het Bompier. But the safety car has helped him. But the thing is though, Ferg is the last of the soft runners, so he'll find himself in a bit of spot of bother with the brand new tyres behind him. He should be quicker then the hard roads at this stage of the race, but when it comes to like lap 9 or 10 or something, that's when the mediums and hards will come back into play. Safety car is going around for another lap. Hopefully it comes in this lap, because I ain't really seen really much incidents happening around the track other than Ferg and Head Bombing coming together and spinning, but there was so much carnage at the start of the race. What do you mean you want to join? You want to join commentary? You can't join the race obviously, but Troye is in the pit lane then. Will he go to a brand new set of the medium compound tyres? Yep, he's going to go on a brand new set of mediums dudes, so he's doing what Alex has done there. Getting rid of the hard compound tyres, because you have to use more than one tyre compound. You can't join the race, mate, because the race has already started with lap 4. So, apologies about that. You can always sign up though. Nathan, JB and AJ are the admins. I've always wanted to say this. AJ versus Fury off the restart. Who would win out of those two? Fury on the medium compound tyres, mid-range tyres, and AJ on the soft compound tyres. So once those soft tyres start to come to an end, that's when Fury will have the advantage on AJ. Good start for Valve Fury. Where did he start in fact? He started down in P12. Yeah, he started down in P12, so in the top 10. Safety car is in this lap then, so we finally get some more racing laps. So Total P's leading Jeroen Visser. Remember, these two are the championship for second place in the race. If you're wondering why Deal was a P3 at the hards, that's because he jumped the start. He's got to serve a drive-through penalty within the next 2 laps, I believe, because he's already done 1 racing lap. So once the safety car comes in, we'll see Deal will hop into the pit lane. And let's see then, when will Total P's decide to go? It's his choice. Remember, oh, there he goes then, straight away. Total P's has got the jump on Jeroen Visser, and Deal does not head into the pit lane. So we're off for the safety car restart. Is anybody in a position to make an overtake into turn 1? Jeroen Visser is not close enough into turn 1. Mark behind Mr. BT there, getting so close into turn 1, goes down the inside. Further back we've got Ferg overtaking ISO 9 for P9 there. We've gone on board with that battle, and Ferg has got himself up into P9. Walter has also taken 9 as well, so moves being made as Rudy has overtaken Steve Raw Gamer up into P13 on those hard compound tyres. So early moves there from those drivers. Nathan then looking to try and get past Dewald, and Danny Boy spun. Danny P20. That's at turn 4, so he probably lost traction as Ferg and Farrell Fury are fighting there. Ferg went down the inside into turn 8, and here comes Farrell Fury. Nathan's got past Dewald, and down the inside goes Farrell Fury, and Nathan's got past Dewald, and here comes Farrell Fury then on Ferg. Ferg around the outside, giving him out, squeezing up so much there. And Ferg will go around the outside. He's got the grip on those soft compound tyres. You expect him, as Dewald has also been overtaken by Mr. BT. And Walter also looking to get past the Irishman, and Mr. BT and Dewald are still fighting there. And overtakes him around the outside. He has the racing line. Dewald will try and get back down the inside on Mr. BT. He'll try to go aboard with Mark's perspective here. Dewald's going to be careful because there's a car on the left hand side of him, so going to make sure which he does so. And here comes Mark. He's overtaken Dewald, and next target is Mr. BT. And there goes AJ on Dewald. Mark goes down the inside of Mr. BT. It's turn 1. Good move there from Mr. BT, Mark. But here comes Mr. BT backed. Oh, they both make contact, and into the wall goes Mr. BT. Something like that was always going to happen when you fight through turn 2 and turn 3 like that. Will that cause a safety car? I wonder. I can't quite tell whose fault it was. Obviously Mr. BT had the right to go back, but he gave Mark no space whatsoever. That's cost him, and sadly he's out of the race. That's a shame for Mr. BT. He was on contention for good points here, as Jaime has overtaken ISO Knight for P10. Down the inside he goes. He's on the hard compound tyres. Valfury sticking with Walter and Mark. There's a big train going on behind Duel. AJ's already overtaken Duel, so Duel then under pressure from Ferg, Mark and Walter. And let's say Duel is out of position because jumping that start gained him a lot of positions. Rudy's overtaken ISO Knight for P11. Oh, that's so close. And I wonder how those two did not spin there. Made contact, lost the car, but managed to save it. There goes Ferg. And he's overtaken up into P5 goes Mark down the inside. That's so tight there for Mark. And Duel loses traction. Duel should come into the pit lane now. Yep, he should come into the pit lane. So Duel interfering with the leaders has cost them a lot with the front runners, I should say. DRS is enabled for the first time in this race on lap 7. Who's close enough to make an overtake? There's Bompia going down the inside of his teammate ISO Knight. Gives him the good old shove. Squeeze him yet again. ISO Knight tries to go back down the inside, but Indian Jesus there as DRS is enabled. Walter so close behind Mark. Are they going to make it 3 wide? Are you going to make it 3 wide? Yes, they will make it 3 wide. Look at that. Can they make it out in one piece? Oh, ISO Knight hits his teammate. He goes off the track. And ISO Knight is in the wall. Will that cause a safety car? There's debris in the wall. Something like that was always going to happen when you're going 3 wide there. When you hit Bompia in the middle, there's nothing you can do about it. Because you've got a driver on the inside and on the outside. What choice can you make, really? That was not a... He wasn't really in a good position there, was Het Bompia. Now he's under pressure from Troye right behind him. And Troye will go down the inside of the Dutchman for P12. Gives him a good old squeeze. Back on board with Walter then. He pitted behind the safety car, remember, doing a 2-stop strategy. Soft, medium, medium, but somebody's just spun. Is that Het Bompia? Het Bompia has just spun without a turn 13 there. Both Alfa Romeos are having a dismal race, it must be said. And Ferg is not the DRS rage of AJ. Nathan's up to P3, so good job from him. And here comes Walter then on Mark. Has the DRS, but he's not close enough to make a move down the inside unless he sends it, which he doesn't do because he's smarter than that. He gets better exit though, coming out of turn 2 and turn 3. Has the DRS up the hill towards turn 4. They're both on the same ERS amount, so no advantage there for the two. Walter stays behind then, as DC has got past Alex for P13. Jaime, the highest hard runner in P8, as ISO Knight picks up a speeding ticket, or speeding penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he's retired from the session anyway, so it doesn't matter. So Het Bompia is the only driver in the Alfa Romeo team to score points. Remember, Het Bompia is in the fight with AJ. 3 points separates the gap between AJ and Het Bompia for the championship standing, and that's for P6. Right now it swings towards AJ's way, but there's still a long way to go in this race. Anything could happen. Look at Mark, the way his behaviour just snatched on the rear. It slided just a bit coming towards turn 12. Make our way into turn 13 now. Looks like these medium tyres are in better state compared to those soft compound tyres. Battle for the front, 7/10 separates Total P's and Jeroen. Further back is Nathan JB and the two brothers for P3 and P4. 2.2 seconds is the gap between third and fourth. And Walter then using all of the ERS on the straight. Will he go down the inside? Nope. Ferg is in the DRS range of AJ, so battle for P4 there, as Rudy has overtaken Jaime for P9 in this race. He's making moves. Remember, he started in last place in this race and he's up into P9 on lap 9. So good performance from him so far. Horrible lockup from Het Bompia as Walter's got past Mark. Down the inside he goes then and up into P6. Good move there from Walter. Now we can set about chasing Ferg. He's far at the back of him, as you can see the flashing light at the back of the Mercedes. Already drained his ERS. We head our way into turn 9 and turn 10. Walter goes a bit deep there, gets on the curb. He outbroke himself. You can see Walter trying to make up those positions there on those medium compound tyres. These mediums should be a little bit less, should perform a little bit better than the soft compound tyres. Jeroen Visser and Total P's though are extending the gap between third and fourth, so they're pulling away from Nathan, dragging each other along. The total Giroud Visser staying in that DRS range of, that's a Williams, that's Troy A. I think he's got a turn 13. Rejoins into turn 13, but Giroud Visser has overtaken Total P's because Total P's is in the pit lane, so is Ferg. So now is the time to get off those soft compound tyres. I would have thought Giroud Visser would have tried the undercut on Giroud Visser. Oh, sorry. I would have thought Giroud Visser would have tried the undercut on Total P's, but looks like Total P's came in the pit straight away. Will he rejoin the traffic? There's a Ferrari coming up behind us. And there goes Danny Boy on the Alfa Romeo. Total P's has came out in traffic where he doesn't want to be. So those two are scrapping for P12. And Total P's has to overtake Head Bompier as quickly as he can, which he does so. Next target is Danny Boy. Danny inside he goes for P13 there. Head Bompier can't fight it too hard as Walter has overtaken his teammate. I dare say that's a team order from AJ and Walter. Those two are not in the same race really. And there's Mark then. He'll be frustrated seeing that, seeing both Mercedes swap positions. Mark closing the back of AJ. They can see him sliding in those soft compound tyres. Can be very careful at this part of the track where it's very easy to lose the back end of the car. The Alfa Tauri driver trying to get past us. Total P's has made his way through on Danny Boy. Wonder how hard Danny Boy made it for him, but it looks like he's made his way through. And he's got a bit of clear air as Giroud Visser is in the pit lane. If he has his full map track on, he would have seen Total P's in a bit of traffic, so I think it was the perfect time for him to pit. As Mark and Nathan and Jeroen have pitted for the brand new set of medium compound tyres. There's Rudy on the back of Foul Fury. He's up into P4 from start to the back of the field. I told you to keep an eye on him, and he's already made his way up into P4. Did he pit on the safety car? I think he did, yeah, because he started the medium compound tyres. But anyways, Total P's has just rejoined ahead of Giroud Visser and has DRS for good measure. So he must have been behind him before the DRS detection point, and he gets DRS. So then, the overcut, well, the undercut hasn't worked for Giroud Visser, or the overcut I must say, because he stopped later towards Total P's. So this be a fight towards the end between these two. Expect these two to go back and forth throughout the whole race. Be very interesting to watch. Ferg is right behind Nathan JB, pressurising him for 13th place there. Both on the same strategy. Ferg's doing a good job after that mistake or contact with Head Bompier at the start of the race. I want to say Head Bompier because I saw those two very close to each other when that happened. Oh, Jimes lost it. The snap of oversteer. You can see the rear end locked up and he had to go off the track there. I've seen that plenty of times around this track. The rear end can really snatch at you if you don't be careful. It's the pits comes AJ then. He's fighting with his brother as Walter takes the lead of this race. Really closing in on Val Fiore there. He's too far behind to make a move. Total P is now back at Troy A. They're both teammates, Troy A. No, they're not actually, sorry about that. I just saw the slightly darker blue on the Williams car. In fact, Troy A's teammates with Giroud Visser, so Troy A's going to make it hard for Total P's so that Giroud Visser can benefit or gain something from it. Make our way down into turn 4 now. This is the part where you don't want to be held up whatsoever. You're going to have to suffer right behind him throughout the whole of this part through sector 1 and sector 2. The start of sector 2 now. Expect Total P's to overtake Troy A at turn 11 if he can. With the tyre difference, he can get a better exit coming out of turn 10 and turn 9 and turn 10. Try and set himself up towards turn 11. I expect Troy A to jump out the way of his teammate once he comes up to him. And there he is then. Goes around the outside. Will Troy A fight this? Not too hard though. And he gets out of the way for his teammate. So that's good. That's good teamwork there. As Indy and G is overtaking Jimes. Jimes gone off the track again. So I wonder if that. I wonder if his ABS, something wrong with his ABS or something. Is he not in the right brake bias, or is he not comfortable braking on the rear there? I'm not quite sure, but that's twice we've seen off the track now in the same place as Nathan gets past Head Bompier. And Ferg looking to get past their Bob here right away, actually. I thought he would have waited for the straight, but he didn't. As Rudy overtakes Foul Fury. They're both side by side. Rudy gets pushed onto the curb there as Foul Fury has the outside line, but Foul Fury loses it. And here they come, they go side by side. Have they got DRS? No, they haven't, so we must have crossed the line at the same time. Rudy has the inside line though. Into turn 4, Foul Fury try and fight this around the outside. He squeezes him off the track. A bit of Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton actually going on there. Hard but fair racing, I must say. Total P's has been overtaken by Drew Vizzer. Drew Vizzer has overtaken Total P's, so that is crucial for the World Championship. And Nathan is stuck behind Danny Boy. And one man you don't want to be stuck behind is Danny Boy. And right behind him is Ferg. Ferg made a fantastic overtake and hit Bob here. Around the outside, didn't make it too hard for him to hit Bob here. Maybe he didn't want to interfere with this battle knowing that the cars on the faster tyres. See all over the back there of Danny Boy. Will he overtake with turn 11 as Giroud Vizzer has overtaken the real DC. And Total Peace has to get past DC as quickly as he can so he doesn't lose his connection with Giroud Vizzer. So Giroud Vizzer has got it back on Total Peace. Back on board with 11th place there. They're still stuck behind Danny Boy, so he did not get that move done into turn 11. He should definitely get it done on the straight. Maybe he should wait for the last corner to get DRS, because if he overtakes here, he might have not DRS. Oh, he's not making it easy for him, and he's spun. Oh, Nathan JB and Foul Fury has re-overtaken Rudy. They're still fighting for P2 here. They go off the track. These two are not giving an inch, and here comes Indian Jesus. Then they're making it 3 wide. Foul Fury's backed out of it. Here comes Indian Jesus around the outside. He goes on Rudy. Rudy's not giving up whatsoever, is he? Oh! He almost lost the car there, made contact with Indian Jesus, but that's so close between the two. And Total Peace does not get past Giroud Vizzer, but Mark has got past Danny Boy. Nathan's going to be absolutely furious with himself. Should Danny Boy leave him the space, or should he just give it up knowing he's on older tyres? Not make it too hard, but obviously he's got a fight behind him, Head Bompia. Obviously you don't want to lose momentum by giving up that place and let Head Bompia through. And Red Bull's just spun. Here goes Head Bompia on Danny Boy. Jime's about to overtake Rafael Fury. They go side by side. And Jime's up into P4 ahead of the Irishman. Head Bompia has got past Danny Boy for P12. Nathan though on for potential podium, but yeah, it hasn't. I don't know if he should be patient. Should he have just waited? I'm not quite sure. AJ though, he's the next guy to be stuck behind Danny Boy. Is he going to make the overtake on the final corner? Danny Boy defending the inside line there. And Rudy's got past India Jesus. Let's see that then. So Rudy has re-overtaken India Jesus. They make contact with side pods. Oh, India Jesus lost it. It's the barrier and he's lost his front wing. Will that cause a safety car with the amount of damage there is? No safety car whatsoever. But India Jesus though making contact with Rudy. Rudy though is being aggressive in this race. You expect him to be. Maybe a bit too aggressive, we don't know, but he's certainly not letting up whatsoever. Now it's Mark versus Ferg for P9 of this race. Indeed, Jesus drops further back with the loss of front wing. AJ still hasn't got past Danny Boy, so he needs to get this overtake done on this straight if he wants to progress his way through the field. DRS is enabled for him. Danny Boy is looking towards Head Bompia. He probably don't care about AJ. He cares more about Head Bompia. But obviously not making it easier for him, as Foul Fury is the first man to pick up a penalty in this race. You can see the difference in speed between the old tyres and the new tyres. They still can't get past him. And somebody's just spun coming out. Was that India Jesus just slowing down there for the yellow flags to come out? And down the inside goes AJ on Danny Boy. They go side by side. And AJ almost loses traction there. But he'll have DRS now. And he goes, oh, what the hell's happened there? What just happened there? But Head Bompia now is behind AJ. And Ferg has got past Troy A for P8 of this race. Mark has to follow shortly. There he is there with the DRS and slipstream. Giroud Visser has overtaken Valfiori. They've caught up to the old starters. Will Toto Pease go down the inside? No, he doesn't. Thinks wisely about it. Doesn't want to make contact with Valfiori. He's just focused on Giroud Visser ahead of him. Will he go down the inside? Nope, he stays behind for this occasion. Valfiori goes a bit deep there without opening the door up for Toto Pease to just nip through. There he goes then on Valfiori. Giroud Visser's next target is Jaime and Rudy. Then Walter on those medium compound tyres. He's doing a good job so far in this race, but loads of things have happened in this race. So much action and chaos, it must be said. We've lost Indian Jesus, ISO 09 and Mr. BT. Heading on to lap 17 of this race. Then Walter's just crossed the line to complete that lap, and he's got a 7.8 second advantage ahead of him. Here comes Giroud Visser on Jaime. No, he doesn't actually. Jaime's using that DRS to try and stick with him. Will he go down the inside? Yes, he's going to go down the inside into turn 1. Oh, Giroud Visser makes slight contact. You can't afford to make contact with these guys starting on the older tyres. You've got to make your way through carefully without any contact. And Toto Pease has got to follow shortly as well. Down the inside goes Giroud. They barge each other. Jaime wasn't giving up there. These two were teammates in the other race, and they both came together, and they came together again, but thankfully not in the wall this time. Mark is still behind Ferg for P8. Now Toto Pease is going to make his way through as quickly as he can before Giroud Visser starts to pull away. Bear in mind, Giroud Visser's got one more drive to get past before he gets into clean air. How hard will Jaime put up a fight against Toto Pease, I wonder? Obviously using that ERS, and somebody's just spun. Is that head bump? Yeah, the tree's falling down, and yes, it's him who's spun coming out of turn 8. Making our way through turn 12 and turn 13 now. Giroud Visser is right behind Rudy. Bit of contact being made. Oh, why has Rudy done that? That's a bit dangerous there from Rudy. Don't know why he's done that, but it could have cost these three drivers a lot of points. Toto Pease has to get past Jaime right now, and Jaime obviously not giving up despite the older tyres. And there goes Jaime on Giroud Visser down the inside. That's not what Giroud Visser needs. And look at Toto Pease going 3 wide into turn 1. Contact's been made, and Jaime spun. But Toto Pease has the run on Giroud Visser as they go side by side now with DRS wide open. And there goes Rudy back on Giroud Visser, trying to go around the outside. Can he make the move stick on the older tyres? It looks like he's got full wind damage the way he's turning in. But what a chaotic race this has been so far. You're getting people mixed up with the fast and slow runners there. Look at Rudy, he's not giving up, is he? Despite having older tyres. Wow, what a chaotic race it's been so far. Jaime and Rudy were not giving up whatsoever. They don't care if they're on older tyres. They just want to fight. And that's the consequence of them fighting too much, or with the wrong people, it must be said. Where is he? He's down in P7, so 1.2 seconds behind. Now there goes the AlphaTauri of Mark on Jaime to get himself up into P7, so Ferg has to follow shortly as Rudy picks up a 3-second time penalty. I don't think Jaime will give this up easily. He wants to fight back on Mark. Nathan in the back of Danny Boy for the second time in a row. I wonder what's his approach this time. Will he try and go down the inside again, or will he wait for the straight? We're heading on to lap 19 of this race. Giroud Visser in the slipstream of Toto Pease. Rudy's in the slipstream of Giroud Visser. Will he go down the inside? No, he doesn't know. Stays in P4 for the time being. And Jaime is right behind Ferg, or Ferg's making a move on Jaime as they both make contact with tyres. And Jaime has to concede there with the older tyres. Mark and Ferg are racing with DC now up into P6. DC, haven't spoken about it much, but he's did a good job in P6. Or P5 shall I say. Valfiori is pitted on a brand new set of softs. And now let's see what pace he's got in hand towards the end of this race. AJ is right behind Troye. The Swedish driver making his return to racing in the Williams. He's holding up AJ so much here in these slow speed corners. AJ's going to wait for the right opportunity. As you can see, Total P's and they're closing on Walter, in fact. And there you go then, Troy A does not make it difficult whatsoever for AJ. Back on board then, it was second, third and fourth. Rudy, interestingly, still in DRS range of Jeroen despite those on those hard compound tyres, and into the pit lane comes Walter for his second stop in this race. He goes on to a brand new set of the soft compound tyres. Did he get hold of the pit lane there? Did he actually get hold up? I'm not quite sure. Was it a bit of lag? I can't even see him. I can't see him still, but hopefully he didn't get hold up in the pit lane as Ferg has overtaken DC. They've both overtaken DC for P4 and P5. Is Rudy trying to go to the end on these hard compound tyres? I wonder. Those hards can go to the end. So who's Rudy's target? I think it's Walter, who's right behind his teammate. Obviously his teammate will let him go. Up into P8 he goes. So what's the gap between Rudy and Walter? 6.2, 6.6, 7.1, 7.8. 12 seconds is the gap between Walter and Rudy then. I could have done it the easy way, couldn't I, if I looked at the leader. So Rudy 1.4. Yeah, so 12 seconds behind Rudy then is Walter. Can he get himself back in the podium? Somebody's just spun. Is that the tree? Yes, it's the tree yet again. Not having a good race, is he? That's costly for him in the championship with his fight with AJ. This is going to be an interesting fight. These two have finally dropped Rudy. 1.6 seconds is the gap now, so Rudy does not have DRS to protect himself against any of the drivers who might make a move from him towards later this race. Talking about Walter, of course, and those brand new set of soft compound tyres. Here comes Jeroen. Will he make a move down the inside? No. It's going to be a fascinating fight between these two, holding a championship fight, as Jaime is going to make a move on DC. Where are they? There he is. Jaime up into P6 then, ahead of DC. Ferg has overtaken Mark. Mark ghosted there. And Ferg is up into P4 ahead of the AlphaTauri. Mark's left the session. Did he get any front wing damage? Hopefully not. Hopefully he's got one spare invite to get back in this session. But Jeroen ever so close behind Total P's. 8 laps to go in this race. This is going to be so close between the top two in this race. Wonder how will it turn out. Will it be Total P's or will it be Jeroen? Could it be anybody else? Will a safety car play towards later in this race? Who knows? But we have one safety car so far in this race. Keep an eye on Walter as he'll be blisteringly quick on these soft compound tyres. Goes deep though into turn 10. He might have cost himself a bit of time. It's calmed down a little bit now in this race, so can take a breather for the moment. But what a race it's been so far, and it's not over yet between Total P's or Jeroen. Can Rudy find himself on the podium? Ferg needs to find 2.6 seconds if he wants to find himself on the podium, because he hasn't got any penalties. So could we see Ferg on the podium on those medium compound tyres against Rudy's hards? Rudy's been involved in a bit of accidents. Well, I'll just up into P7 there. Yeah, but Rudy's been involved in some accidents in this race between 2 or 3 drivers, so might find himself on the podium, but there's a lot of investigation to go. As down the inside goes DT. Late braking move. He outbrakes himself and goes off the track, and therefore allows Jaime to go back through on it. But here comes Walter then on DC. 1 lap new soft against 19 lap old. It shouldn't be a challenge, and it isn't, and it's up into P6. Walter on a mission to try and claim back the podium. He's right at the back of Jaime here, taking different lines to try and set himself up to get the best exit. Look at that, that's a good exit there. I believe Jaime lost traction coming out of turn 8, and there goes Walter on the Red Bull up to P5 he goes. Now the gap between Walter and Ferg is 3.3 seconds. Keep an eye on him in the race. So the gap between Walter and the race leader, 11 seconds. I don't think, maybe he can find 11 seconds in the but I don't think you'll I think the highest Walter could go is P3. I think the top two might be a little bit of a stretch, so P3 is the highest Walter could go, including that penalty that Rudy's got. There's Jeroen not overtaking him. He's trying to save up some ERS. How long can he wait though? I think in one of the races this season he waited too long, and therefore he didn't get the move done. What race was it? I can't exactly remember, but Jeroen waited long and he didn't get the move done. I think it was him versus Walter in one of the races. It left it a bit too long, and therefore it cost it. Was it Austria? I'm not quite sure, but he needs to plan it, and once he plans it, he needs to make it work out. Otherwise, all that time spending behind him was just really nothing really. Total P's though equally needs to like know when Jeroen is going to make a move. DRS is enabled for total Jeroen as the timer screens have disappeared thanks to Mark. No, I'm kidding Mark really, but yeah, the timer screens have disappeared. Where's Walter? Walter, I'd say, is about 2.8 seconds behind Ferg right now. Or 2.5 seconds behind. If Ferg's got enough pace in hand, can he try and take the podium away from Rudy, or will it be Walter? Because Rudy's got a 5-second time penalty and these 20-lap old medium compound tyres. He started last, remember, and he's made his way up into P3. As the timing sheets come back then, Jeroen not making a move into Tier 1. He's biding his time, he's waiting for the right opportunity. Total P's then is also waiting to see when Jeroen makes a move. It's hard to save ERS around this track, but it's easy when you're behind somebody. Now Mark's rejoined back in the session in P9 where he doesn't want to be. He's got Nathan JB, and down the inside goes Foul Fury and Duel. And Duel goes wide into Tier 1, and Foul Fury has made the move stick. Good move there from Foul Fury. Now he's in the back of Nathan JB on those soft compound tyres as well, for good measure. Both Alpha tyres in P9 and P11 there. Obviously Mark should be further up where Ferg is, but sadly he dropped out of the session. 1.2 seconds now is the gap between Ferg and Walter. We'll be soon in his DRS rage. It's going to be a good fight between Rudy and Walter when he gets there, because I guarantee you Hebopia spun for the 3rd time in this race, not going his way whatsoever. Yeah, I guarantee you that Rudy will not give up whatsoever against Walter. Rudy's a fighter, he don't care who's fighting. He don't care if he's on a brand new set of tyres. Don't care, he's got a better pace than him. He will go for it. That's why you've got to keep an eye on this driver. I raced against him before, Rudy. You could say he's an aggressive driver, but at the same time he's got a pace as well. He makes different decisions compared to everybody else, like the British GP when he won that race. He went on the soft compound tyres, me thinking that those tyres will make it to the end, but guess what, he won the race and made those tyres go to the end. So this driver always brings out some surprises. He got a podium in the second to last race we've just had. Well, where was it? Was it Mexico? No, it wasn't Mexico. I wasn't even there for Mexico, but he got himself a podium. I think it was Singapore he picked up a podium, I'm not quite sure. It was Austria? I don't know what it was, but he definitely picked up a podium because I remember speaking to him. I think it was Austria, yeah, it was Austria. So, but that 3-second time penalty is not doing any favours whatsoever, because Ferg is 3.4 seconds behind Rudy now, with Walter got DRS as well, 6/10 behind. Walter will just wait for the straight as the battle for P10 and P11 is spiced up between Mark, Nathan and Foul Fury. Foul Fury in advantage with those soft compound tyres. AJ in the back of DC. DC doing a fantastic job yet again. We haven't mentioned him much in the race, but been running his own little race there, keeping out of trouble, and finds himself in P7. There goes Walter, right behind Ferg then. In fact, go on board with the top two, because Total P's has DRS on the back of Alex. And there goes Jeroen. He's also got DRS on the back of Total P's, but obviously can't make a move. And Total P's will have DRS on the back of Alex again, as Walter has made the move on Ferg. Yeah, Total P's has got DRS on the back of Alex, as Alex has been showed the blue flags, so he needs to get out of the way. and DC has been overtaken by AJ as he moves up into P7, and Aston Martin, oh, Ferg spun! Oh dear, Ferg has dropped it coming out of turn 2 and turn 3 there. Did he make contact with Walter? I'm pretty sure Walter got the move done, but there goes the Mercedes of AJ, and there goes DC. AJ there, a bit squirrely on the exit coming out of turn 4, but what happened there is Foul Fury has been over the wall. He's trying to overtake Nathan, but Nathan has re-overtaken him back for P10. Foul Fury tried to go down the inside, but Nathan on the outside line. Better exit, more momentum, and re-overtaken Foul Fury. Yeah, so Ferg then, assuming he didn't make contact with Walter, she must have dropped it on his own, because I don't see how. Yeah, I think I won't expect him to make contact with Walter. Look at that, Alex hasn't got out of the way for Total P's. Alex has a brand new set of softs, so we expect him to be quicker than Total P's and Jeroen Visser. So the blue flags have disappeared. He's no longer obliged to get out of the way because blue flags are not shown to his name, so he can pull away if he wants to. Is this the... He's just closed the DRS, has Jeroen Visser. I think he's waiting for the last lap. He's definitely waiting for the last lap, is Jeroen Visser, to pass. What will Total P's do in response? Will he try, if he knows he'll make it to the last lap, try and save up the ERS for this lap or the next lap and use it all on the last lap? But Jeroen Visser though is just waiting and waiting. Interesting battle going on for P5, P6, P7 and P8 between Jaime, AJ, Ferg and DC. And this is an interesting little battle between Nathan and Foul Fury fighting for P10. Foul Fury tried to overtake Nathan a couple of times, but it hasn't gone his way. The problem Foul Fury's got is that Nathan's in DRS range of Mark, so therefore he has the DRS as well. So it could be more overtaken to hard. But look at this train. It's a nice little train that's going behind Jaime, so we could see a few positions changes in the last laps of these races. So keep an eye on 5th downwards, because this could get spicy towards the end between those guys in the midfield. AJ in the back of Jaime, but he also brings Ferg along with him. Ferg having 2-lap older tyres compared to AJ plus his spud, but it looks like he's getting a better corner and exit compared to AJ. He seems more confident on the throttle. Obviously Ferg is trying to reclaim P5. He hasn't let that mistake phase him whatsoever. Back at the top though. No, he doesn't make the move. He just lifts off. And look at the ERS advantage that Jeroen Visser has on his main championship contender. Back on board, there goes Ferg. It might be a double overtake. Look at that, they're going 3 wide on the straight. And duels in the pit lane. Ferg is up into P5 ahead of AJ and Jaime. So Jaime has just lost 2 positions in one straight. Thankfully it was clean, because last time we saw it with 3 wide, somebody spun. But this time no contact was made, and it was clean racing between all 3 drivers. So respect for those 3 drivers there. Ah, look at that, there they are then. Walter has caught up to Rudy then. These tyres, these soft compound tyres should be in good shape still. Might be faded just a bit, but they should be better than the hard compound tyres, I presume. Yeah, Rudy defending, look at him, he's weaving. I don't think he can do anything about it. There goes Walter down the inside of Rudy. Nothing Rudy could have done there to try and prevent that from happening. From the shock of qualifying, we've seen the same top 3 as we usually see, Jeroen, Walter and Total P's, but Total P's and Jeroen is still decided who's going to win this race. I don't think Walter's going to win the race, he's too far back behind, so he has to settle for P3. Rudy's not giving up though, he's right behind him. But there goes Jeroen Visser, he makes the move on the last lap of this race. Total P's though, now he has to get a better exit quit out of turn 1 and turn 2. And there goes Rudy back on Walter, but more importantly, back in the battle for 1st and 2nd. There goes Total P's. Will he try and go around the outside? This is the battle for P2 in the championship. Around the outside goes Total P's. Can he make it stick? Has he got the traction to come out of turn 2? And Jeroen Visser stays ahead of Total P's. They're still fighting towards turn 5 and turn 6. Here comes Total P's. They both make contact. And Jeroen Visser is off the track. Will he try and go down the inside? No. Total P's has managed it well with the threat of Jeroen Visser. That was fantastic racing. A bit of argy-bargy going on there. Ferg has got past AJ. They're still fighting now between 5 and turn 6. The side by side. And he's spun on the curb. Oh, it's but contact's been made with the Red Bull. This is last chance to make an overtake into this corner. No, he does not. It's going to be a drag race all the way to the end. Depends who's got more ERS, who's used the ERS on this lap. But this has been a thrilling, fascinating, fantastic race. Total Peas has the light flashing. Look at Drew Vizzer. He's got more ERS in comparison to Total Peas. Total Peas doing his best to defend. Who's going to come out on top of this race? Well, Drew Vizzer has to send it down the inside, has he? No, he doesn't. But could he out drag him towards the line? He's got a little bit of battery left in that car. That's it. And there's Total Peas then. Total Peas will come across the line to win the Bahrain Grand Prix ahead of Drew Vizzer. That was fantastic racing between the top two. Walter finishes in P3. And there's Rudy will finish in P4. CRL Ferg will finish in P5 ahead of Jive in P6 there. The real DC is under pressure from Mark right behind him. But what a fantastic race. The real DC in P6. Underrated performance by DC yet again. He's always having quiet races, not getting into trouble. And there he is. Troy is the last man, well not the last man, but one of the three last drivers to cross the line along with Danny Boy and Duel. Duel will go for the fastest lap. Has he got it? I don't think he has. Yes he has, it's 27.5. Anyways, that's the race done. And we'll invite the top three to the podium. Reading the comments, I agree with you, SpongeBob. He should have waited, or Danny Boy should have given a little bit more space. And yes, Harvey Lees, what a race indeed. And hello, Kalen. How you doing, mate? Hope you're doing alright. We'll just wait for the top three to join the party, and we can go off then to talk to the drivers. Hello, Turtle Peas. Hello, Walter.
Hello.
And hello, Jeroen.
Hello, mate.
And all three of you, can you just wait for a bit because I'm gonna go to the toilet.
Yeah, sure. Jamie. Yeah, he's to the toilet.
Alright guys, I'm back. Are all three of you still here?
Yep.
Walter, P3, we'll start with you first, mate. How are you doing first?
I'm good.
Explain us through your race. Do you think the two-stop was worth it today, or was the one-stop better today, do you think?
At the end, I think it's a one stop, but I knew my pace was a bit lacking on here in Bahrain, so I had to try something different to get. If I wanted to win, I had to try something different.
That's fair enough, mate, because we all knew you were going through a two-stop with soft, medium, and medium. Do you think there was another safety car that was going to come out towards the middle or late stage of the race?
I was hoping for it. On like whenever on pit, I was on mediums, just getting ready for my pit stop. I was hoping the safety car would have come out, but it got pretty close a few times, but it didn't come out at the end, so that was unlucky.
Do you think P3 is all you could have done today, mate?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I don't think I could have challenged for the win. I could have sticked in the arrest frame maybe, but I don't think I would have lost it.
When the safety car comes out of lap 1, is there a lot of decisions going through your head what to do? Is that what goes through your head, do you think?
Yeah, before my pit stop, I went into the pit lane and I switched between hard and medium like 4 times. And then I went with the mediums to have a bit of fun, but
obviously when everybody pitted on those softs, you had track position and had to pull a gap before your next pit stop. But how do you think your pace was today, mate? Do you think it was alright, do you think?
For Bahrain and my history of Bahrain, it was alright. I take it. So.
Is this not one of your favourite tracks?
No, probably my worst one.
Your worst one, but you did a very good job to get to P3.
Yeah, another podium, I'm happy.
Were you a bit nervous with Rudy there? You know how aggressive he can be.
It was fine.
Congrats to P3, mate. Next one is not Mexico. What was it? I just had a look. Russia. Next one's Russia. How are you feeling for that, mate?
I'm hyped about Russia all season.
Why? Is it one of your favourite tracks?
I've been waiting for Russia. I think I've been waiting a long time for Russia.
Good luck for the next one, mate. Congrats on P3, by the way, Walter.
Yeah, thanks.
P2, Jeroen Vizet just missed out in the end there, mate. Oh, it was. You planned it so much from like lap 20. Just stay behind Jeroen Vizet, save up that battery and go for the very last lap. But it didn't quite work out, mate. How frustrated are you? I know you're very frustrated, but what could you have done different?
Yeah, the only thing I would have done different is not shift. Yeah, I fucked up my shifting in turn 1 on the last lap. I locked a little. I think me and Peace were both shitting ourselves. But in turn 1, yeah, I fucked the shift and I shifted up to 4th gear, so I had no revs, no speed, anything. And yeah, because of that, I finished 1.8 tenths behind the bastard Peace.
It was so close though, because going at it at turn 5 and turn 6, you made me very nervous. Like you two were spectacular driving. Like it was so intense. How was it for you? Because obviously driving on the track with all the adrenaline going through you, knowing it's the last lap, you have to do something. Were you very close to making a mistake there?
No, it was like running up to turn 4, I think it is, the braking zone. I covered the inside because I knew if I didn't, he would go for it for every gap. Broke late, and I trust Peace with driving, so you can push it more to the limit when you're side by side with him than with other guys, for example. But yeah, going through the S's side by side is always tricky.
Yeah.
It was tricky to leave space for him, and for him, I think a little collision wasn't. We couldn't avoid it, but I had to go off track through it, and he made the move. But in the end, it's just unfortunate for me. But it was very good driving, and I really enjoyed it. So
in the heat of the moment kind of thing, like when you get pushed off the track, obviously with clean but hard racing, do you like instantly say to the driver that what you're doing or something like that?
No, we were just concentrating. I think no one really said a word during the battle.
Was it just you to the party or the people? Because I know all the people would have spoke. So was it just you two?
No, I think we were with 8 people or something.
Jesus, how could you rate with 8
Mark,
people?
Berg, Wouter, and Nathan.
That's too much for me. Anyways,
Yeah,
mate.
but it's not that much of time. It's just like when something happens, it just gets broken.
Anyways, mate, it's not too late for you to defend, Peter. You've got 2 races left to try and defend from Total Ps. What's your approach for the next 2 races, mate?
Yeah, I'm beating him in Russia, that's for sure. And the race after, I don't know what track it is, but I think it's Brazil. Yeah, he's good there. So I don't like Brazil.
There's still 2 races left to go, mate.
Yeah, and this one was a bit damage limitation. So in the end, not too bad.
Anything could happen really in the last 2 races, can't there?
Yeah.
Total Ps, mate. Congrats on P1. This must be.
Morning.
This must be. This must be one that's most rewarded because you fought throughout the entire race against Total Ps. You were both. I mean, you were both at each other's neck throughout the whole race. Explain to me how that must have felt. It must have been tiring because I would definitely be tired at that point.
Yeah, that was a very, very stressful race. There was parts where I thought I was going to break DRS. There was parts I thought he was going to leave me. There was traffic we had to get through. And in the last 9 laps or so, it was just gunning it. He was behind me for all of those laps. I had to watch my tyres, my battery. And then once I pieced together his plan, I just had to try to think of the best defense I could possibly do.
Were you a bit nervous about the traffic? Because that traffic came back at you. Like, they weren't leaving you alone. Unless they dropped off dramatically, but how stressful was that to get through the traffic? Because I know Jaime and Rudy, they were not making it easy for you, were they?
No, that was very, very scary, especially when Rudy decided to pretty much brake on the straight to get DRS back on us.
That was dangerous, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty scary.
I wonder what was going on. Could have took 2 of you out.
It could have ended really badly, and Jaime ended up going into Jeroen as well because he broke so late and tried to just defend so hard. But in the end, we both got through clean, and then we just had to race it out. Then it was good, hard racing on the last lap.
Yeah, I'm glad, mate. How you been feeling these last few races? Because you've gained so much points on Jeroen Visser, over 50 points now on Jeroen Visser. So you've had a good few clean runs. Do you think you'll get him on the next 2 races? Do you think you can take that P2 away from him?
Yes. But I have belief in the fact that I can, but anything can happen. It's Russia, which is safety car heaven, and Brazil, which I can see a massive 5-10 car train, because that's just the nature of the track. So it'll be interesting, but yeah, anything can happen.
Yeah, you've been on form in these last few races. If we only had you like this against Walter, who knows who could have won a championship between you and Walter and Jeroen.
Yeah, maybe if me and Jeroen decided to be a bit more consistent at the start of the season, well, I wouldn't have had it as easy. But yeah, next season we'll go again.
Do you reckon, because at the first half of the season, the way you were driving, you had fast pace, but you're a bit like me, a bit inconsistent, picking up penalties and getting into mistakes. But what have you learned out the whole season? Because you, so far, have just been smashing it, really.
Just keeping it consistent, just not overcomplicating things when I don't need to. That's what I was doing early in the season. So yeah, it's one of those. I think since the 3rd race, I've finished everyone bar Baku when I lagged out. So yes, I've been on a good run. Can't complain.
Yeah, you could be a contender for the championship next year against Jeroen and Walter.
For sure, for sure.
Jeroen, question for you. Now thinking about it, that traffic for you, that must have been stressful because you had Rudy. When he braked when he braked for the DRS on the straight, and Jaime goes to the side of you, that must have been very stressful. Thinking, what the hell are you two doing?
Yeah, I honestly I don't understand. If they want to fight me, it's good, but Rudy literally brakes in front of me on the straight. What the fuck is he doing? It's if you go to the side and brake to get the DRS, okay, but he does it in front of me.
Yeah,
I didn't understand what he was doing, and then Jaime just fought it very hard. Yeah, broke late into my side.
Did he have any problems against you in Singapore? Was that it?
Yeah, that's history now, but just keep it clean for the next 2.
Yeah, hopefully. Good racing from all 3 of you, especially you and Jeroen. That was very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Move on to the next one at Russia. Hopefully it's another good one like this.